Hello and welcome to Slovakia for the fifth and final ICF Canoe Slalom event of the 2012 season. The Chernovo Wild Water Centre close to Bratislava is welcoming 220 paddlers from 30 nations who are competing on the challenging artificial course on an island in the Danube River. Today we'll be looking at the best of the action from the 5 World Cup disciplines. I'm Matthew Layton, so sit back and enjoy the action.
The two-time Olympic champion, Michael Martican, who was not in capacity to compete here, has done a controversial course. It was even worse with the wind during the semi-final. This course has been built as a bypass of a very important dam for the Danube regulation. That's one of the more difficult venues we have during this tour in 2012. Long course. Powerful course with a lot of drop. It's like a trampoline. I mean, it's like ski jumping. Suddenly you have a 2-3 meters drop, and the strength of the water is quite big because the water is in a very narrow stretch between 2 blocks. We have several drama, people leading the race till the gate 18, 19, and suddenly missing just a ferry there. You fail or you succeed very obviously. Drama is something we are looking forward to.
That's enough of the waiting. Straight into the action. We're going to be covering the 5 disciplines and starting off with the single men's canoe. We're going to be covering the top runs of each party. On this very testing course is Ante Bergic from Slovenia. He is a talent to watch out for the future. He recently got the bronze medal at the Under-23 Worlds. So far this season, his best result was 7th place in Spain in La Seu d'Urgell. If you're not familiar with the course, the idea is to negotiate yourself down a water channel to make it interesting. The judges have strategically placed a series of gates. Today we have 19 gates. The green and white gates are downstream, and the red and white gates are to be taken against the current, as we see here, upstream. To make it more interesting, you have to go through the gates without touching them. Touch a gate, 2 seconds, instantly added onto your time. If unfortunately you're judged by the adjudicators to have missed a gate completely, then it's a 50-second penalty, which eventually rules you out of the competition. Ante here putting a terrific performance. As you see, he has to really get into the eddy, fight the current, and then use the power of the water to cut across the stream to go through gate number 19 in an upstream way. You're allowed to push against the side, sprint over the line, and this is a wonderful time. The rule going around a gate is you need to get the whole of your head, part of your body and part of the boat round the gate without touching the pole. If you've been following the sport in the other 4 events so far this season, then Alexander Slavkovsky from Slovakia won't need any introduction. He's so far leading the World Cup standings. Tall, athletic, excels at all winter sports, and this is his home course, so we're expecting some real lightning stuff here. It's all about choosing the right lines, using the water, and as you can see in these canoes, they're kneeling down on 2 knees and clearly using 1 blade. Niagara Falls here, it's a vertical drop of 3 meters. Again, he knows the course inside out, pushes off the wall. What he needs to do here is get as near to gate number 18 as he can. Again, using the wall, crosses over for the last upstream gate, and this is looking very solid. Also is a right-hander, which is perhaps difficult today, but that's enough. Not only does Alexander Slavkovsky win today, but he also takes home the first prize for the best C1 paddler of the whole season. confirmation of results. First place, gold medal goes to the Slovak, Alexander Slavkovsky, second Slovenia, and third Czech Republic. That's a great result for the local crowd. Testing conditions in the first of 2 days' activities.
My name is Mel Gass, I'm a computer programmer. I compete for Togo. I belong to the same club as triple Olympic champion Tony Estanguet and Fabien Lefebvre. So at Pau in the Atlantic Pyrenees, it's great to compete for a small country, as in France there's so much competition it's very difficult to get into the team. I take advantage of the fact they've got double nationality to compete for Togo. I'm a real beginner. I've only been in the sport for the last 5 years. To come to the World Cup where I'm actually competing with the best athletes in the world, it's fantastic. Can't stop smiling. The action continues. We're going to switch disciplines. This is the men's kayak final. The kayak is where you're sitting down, feet in front of you, and as you'll see, 2 blades on your paddle. 2012 has been a breakout year for France's Etienne Dye. Couldn't be any better. Second in Cardiff, and then first in Pau, La Sodergale, and Prague. Very light, only 68 kilograms. Keeps the boat floating on top of the water. In fact, he wasn't going to come here this week, but said, well, I'm doing well in training, and why not? It's been a long season. Etienne was the favourite going into the Olympics. Perhaps got stage fright, and then he came 7th, but it is, I say, it's a learning year. So far, if you see, he's almost fighting against the water. Perhaps it's not his day. Now to go for the tricky section. He's got to get the line right, going over Viagra. Goes down the 2 downstream gates and needs to cut back as quickly as he can. On the bottom half of the course, is really on form. A shame at the top it wasn't really going that well. Bangs aside, cuts back, and makes up 2 or 3 seconds on the rest. Cut forward, a really, really good time. Eventually he would finish in 3rd, but not happy with himself. Etienne Dye would go on to be crowned the champion for kayaking for 2012 season. This race surely was not the best of the year for me so far. I think I did my best race last week in Prague. The course was hard, but I still managed to get on the podium. This is a great satisfaction to me, to be able to get on the podium for all 5 World Cup stages of this year. Although Etienne Dye is the champion for the year, today's top performer, 28 years old from Slovenia, Juri Meglic. Not the biggest performer, but very good technique. Managing to really diminish the time he takes on the upstream gates. That's where you lose most time. And now it's a case of had a few gates that are fairly easy, setting himself up for the toughest 4 gates on the course. And many people are saying it's the toughest 4 gates they've ever seen, certainly this season. Decides to take the peel out action, goes through the gate, back round. Current takes him through 16. 2-second penalties, not going to be happy with that. Now it's a case of getting himself across the stream. This is incredibly shallow water here. Many of them were touching their blades on the bottom. But even with a 2-second penalty, he came home first. Confirmation for the results. Excellent goal for Juri Meglic. France takes the bronze and silver.
It was the last time when I won the World Cup, 2007. So after this year, when I had two operations of the back in October, it's really incredible to be in the top of the world again after a few years.
The last event on the first day was for the women, and this was at the limit of testing their skills. It's the canoe singles. From a start list of 17 athletes, 10 got to the final. In action, Rosalind Lawrence from Australia, won in Cardiff, very close in the next two events, and she is the woman to look out for. Won the under-23s last year, has no fear, loves wild water. The youngest of three paddling sisters, two have now retired. It's all down to Rosalind. Little bit low, drops below the gate, but manages to put herself back in the right position. This is really tough today. Normally the women are expected to paddle for 95, 100 seconds. And as you can see, still a major way to go. We've already had 115 seconds, but the good news for Rosalind is she's penalty free. Lactic acid now building up on the arms, but gets herself a great angle for the hardest gate of the day. Upstream, 18. So very shallow here. Fighting through the eddy. Gets herself a good position so she can cross the stream. She probably feels she's left a few seconds on the course, but it is a clear round. And this would be enough to guarantee Rosalind Lawrence the overall championships for this year.
It was a lot of fun. Firstly, it's great to paddle here at Bratislava. I really like it. It was pretty tough racing against Katja, the local girl from Slovakia, and I'm very happy for her to win. She's a good paddler. She had a good run. And yeah, the C1 women are improving every time I race against them, so it's getting tougher and tougher.
The on-form woman for today, 26-year-old from Bratislava, Katerina Makova, and has form on this course. Came third, won the bronze medal at the World Championships here last year, and also was the European champion in 2010. It's all about conserving their energy for the bottom section of the course. These courses are won and lost on the last four gates. Excellent round upstream 13. Clearly has been down this course 100 times before, knows how the water flows. How can she negotiate the last section? And that's tight. See, cutting back into the mainstream, using the water flow, getting round difficult 17. Just with 3 strokes of the paddle, gets into the right position to take the last gate. And around. Here she comes. Even with a 2-second penalty, she wins by 3 seconds. So she's 5 seconds faster than the opposition today. Confirmation of the result. Katerina Makova from Slovakia takes the gold, Australia second, and Oriana Rebo for France bronze.
The best moment was when I crossed the finish line and I saw I'm first.
the same venue, but it's another day. Bright sunshine, the wind has dropped, and we're setting ourselves up for the canoe doubles. The best 10 teams of the weekend are going in reverse order, and let's have a look at the best ones. Pierre Laborel, Nicolas Peschier. Fairly unique this, they've actually won the last 3 World Cup events so far this season. Interesting combination. Pierre Laborel weighs less than 60 kilograms and is fairly small in the front. And then this muscle man, Nicolas Peschier, in the back. It works extremely well. Both of these, by the way, very competent C1 paddlers. Haven't been competing in that discipline this year because France is just so strong. Remember, these boats, these teams are going down exactly the same course as all the other competitors. The gate's exactly the same width. 3-meter drop there into Niagara, peeling off, pushing off the wall, getting into the main current. They were desperately disappointed not to be in the Olympic place. Klaus and Peschier got that. But haven't they made up for it since then? Proved to be a little bit sloppy on the bottom. Valuable seconds lost, and in this game you can't do that. But a clear round and another podium for the French team.
During an Olympic season, it's hard not to think about the Games. Unfortunately, we missed it on the French selections. Until then, the World Cup was a bit secondary for us, but finally, we did all really well. We managed to win 3 races plus a podium in the finals. We can hardly expect to do better than that. It really is a season that ends up in a very nice way.
And with that, Laborel and Peschier became the World Cup champions for 2012. But the winners of today's race, it's a new team, Franz Anton and Jan Benzien from Germany. They are established C1 paddlers, but just coming together, and the performances they've been putting forward this season, it really is going to shake up the discipline for many years to come. Positioning themselves well, and they're well up on the split. It's all theirs to lose now. What they have to do is set themselves up nicely. And it's a big drop in a C2. A 3-meter drop. As you can see, the paddler in the stern can't see what's going on. But great coordination as they peel off and spin round 16. Put themselves in a position. Full power on. Round upstream across the water. The challenge here is it's very shallow, so they push off against the bank. And this is a wonderful performance in their first season. They cross the line and take the gold. Confirmation in writing, an excellent goal for Anton and Benzien from Germany. Poland second, France in third.
It was a great race because it's our first medal in the World Cups, so yeah, we are happy. And
like it was a hard course, and so we just tried to go safe and all clean, and just on the straights we pushed a bit harder, but then we've been quite well in all the upstreams, and for us, first year in the C2, and then a gold medal is perfect.
An important legacy for the next generation of paddlers has been created through the Canoe Slalom Development Program. Pierre Gosselin is in the field putting the program to work.
Slalom development program is based on 3 main items. The first one is to have more people practicing slalom canoeing. The second one is mainly competition with the TIP, Talent Identification Program, and the last part is the educational program. We have some actions in different countries, especially during the Continental Championships, and then from that we can select the continental athletes and the best continental athletes are selected for the world actions during the World Championships or World Cups.
For Victoria Urs, results are achieved through a real one-to-one partnership and a sharing of experience and ideas, discussing lines and the best ways to tackle the course, producing some major improvements.
It's very important for me and for my team because it's a really good coach and I improve my knowledge and my results come better and better. For the next years I'm planning to be in the semi-final for World Cups and I want to be in the final for Junior World and maybe to have a place in first, second or third.
Things are going well. In this week's Bratislava World Cup, she got to the semi-finals. Moving on, the last event of today, it's the kayak individual for the women, and we have the top 10 kayakers going on the course. Ursa Kregel from Slovenia has been on top form, winning in Spain in the 1992 Olympic course in La Sodogel. Slightly built, but technically very solid. An exciting prospect for the sport. It's all a case of choosing the right lines and using the power of the water. Easier said than done. Wraps herself tightly around the upstream gates. And it's really close here. Over Niagara, how it's going to go. Maybe losing a couple of seconds. Sets herself up nicely. Fighting away round the upstream and leaving another couple of seconds on the course, unfortunately. Just one more upstream gate to go. And that is very tight. Best we've seen so far today. That would eventually be good enough for third position. But the compensation is she is crowned the world champion in women's kayak for 2012.
It was a tough race. I didn't completely stick to my plan. I thought I'm going to have a smoother run, but at the end, even though I struggled, I managed to get third, and I'm very, very happy.
Welcome to the world of perfection. Jana Dugatova from Slovakia has been on this course since she was a youngster, brought up in Bratislava, and widely renowned as making the course look ridiculously easy. Knows exactly where the next paddle is going to go. She won last week in Prague. Had some injuries earlier in the season which slowed her down a little bit, but once she gets on the form with this style, it's impossible to beat her. A very tall athlete. Maybe takes fewer strokes than the others, but knows exactly what she's doing, setting herself up nicely for 18. Here she comes. How closely can she get around the uphill gate? The answer is very, very tight. One more gate to go. Pushes off the wall. And this is an exhibition. She obliterates the competition. And for the second week in a row, Jana Dugatova wins for Slovakia in front of the home crowd.
I think it was quite a good race for me. I did a few mistakes in my final round, but in spite of that, it was quite enough to win, so I'm happy I'm winning again after 1 week.
It's been a great season for the sport. Obviously, we had the Olympic Games in the middle as the highlight, but this year for slalom, 5 World Cups, We started in June in Cardiff, not such good weather as we have here to finish the season, but I think every race has been a high quality race, and the World Cup has provided something for everyone, for the athletes preparing the Olympic Games and for those that missed that opportunity to develop their potential and careers. Yeah, next year exciting season in prospect with 5 World Cups and World Championships, and we'll be back in action in June.